and we want to stop. This is the black peg. So now let's grab a yarn, and we're going to start with that, and I'm going to show you how to load it. It's actually so much more simpler than you probably realize. First step you're going to want to do is you want to get your yarn, and I would strongly suggest that you do it so that it's at the center pull, and so that there's less tension on this. So get that and let it fall to the ground. So I'm just going to drop it down, make sure it's nice and even. And I'm just going to pick this up, and I'm going to put this over top of the loom, and I'm just going to leave about maybe an inch, or about 12 inches, 18 inches, and I'm just going to let that fall directly into the center. And I'm going to then show you the up-close look of this. I actually think this machine has actually been designed for right-handed people, because this is the cranking knob over here. And what we want is, and I want you to notice that it's over there, because this is how we're going to start. So it's just falling on the inside. This piece going down this direction, down through, is going to the yarn ball. This is just going to the loose end in the middle. We want to take it through the front of this black peg, and we want to come up underneath and see that little lip there? We want to capture that, and with my right hand is that I want to start rotating it in this direction. Okay, and the first one's going to jump up, and I want you to go behind that one, and the next one's going to jump, and I want you to go in front. Okay, the next one's going to jump, I want you to go behind and then in front. And I'm making this look a lot more simpler. It's actually it took me a little bit getting used to doing this. So rotate a little bit, behind and in front. Behind and in front, behind and front. And you notice how I'm taking my time doing this? You want to take your time. You don't want it to do it too fast, and then you start losing where you are. Also, you don't want the tension. I'm just letting the tension just go on there and feed as it wants it. I'm not over tensing on this thing. I just want it to glide on and onto the pegs, just like so. So as you get used to it, I'm going to start speeding up now to my regular. And I've only had this machine for 4 days, so I'm actually got the science down just fine. So just back and forth. Okay, I want to make sure there's no tension coming from the yarn ball. And we're almost all the way around, so back and forth. So you can just use this hand and just back and forth. Okay, so it actually gets pretty easy. So now all the way back around, the black peg is now back, and I want you, we're going to be behind this one here, and we're going to be coming in the front here. This is the yarn guide, and we want to slide that, and we want to put this yarn now in the shuttle. I call this the shuttle. I'm not sure the correct name of it, but that's what I'm going to call it. It's now down in, and you might see that there's a little hole down right in here, and you just want to zip it in and close it. So let's begin the next process, and this is our casting on. So we've got it loaded up, and we're ready to do the first cast on revolution. So we're now ready, and I'm going to turn the crank in the same direction, and I just want to take my time. Okay, and you will notice that this white peg has nothing, but it's about to load with something. Okay, so I want to take my time with this. Okay, you don't hear any nasty grinding. This machine is fabulous. I did a product review of this, and I'm extremely happy with the operation of this machine. This is 4-ply wool yarn, to be honest with you, and it is behaving like a dream. Okay, and I just want to crank it so I'm all the way back to the beginning. If you're ever confused, the counter is actually keeping count for you as well. Okay, so there's the black, and I'm going to stop. So now I've actually completely cast it on with this project, and now this project is good to go. So I'm going to show you in a little bit closer up views of me actually knitting with this, because we're now just good to go, and it's that easy. It's so crazy. It's great. So we're just going to continue to knit, and you will notice that this will snap down when I rotate it underneath. You want to make sure that these are all snapped underneath these things. Okay, if they do not snap down, then they become a problem for you in the next revolution. You also notice at this point too is that not all of them have pieces. Okay, so this here, there's nothing there. That's because we're still in the casting on process, but the next revolution, every one of these in the between will be filled with something. So I want to also take my time with this revolution, and I just want to crank. Okay, so it's going down, and the peg just sinks down underneath, and it's still holding on to the yarn. If you notice that really carefully, see, it just holds it underneath. Okay, so I want to take you to the other side of this in a second, show you where the knitting is taking place on the other side. You're actually going to find this really fascinating. Okay, so I put you on the other side. So look what happens here. When this jumps up, the one that's sitting down in the front is automatically on the top, and it's going to push it in behind. Okay, so do you see it again? It's just going to push it up. It's going behind. And as the peg passes through this shuttle, it's grabbing more yarn and sinking back down underneath. Okay, and I want to go back all the way to the black again. So I'm now completely casted on in this process, so now it's up to me just to knit as I want to. And you can see here that it's also keeping count. We're on revolution number 3. And now I want to just show you how fast this thing can actually go, and what I'm actually looking for when I'm knitting with this thing. Okay, so I'm going to now speed up to my regular time. So what I'm looking for here, and also by the way, a small crochet hook is really handy. I want to make sure that something always appears over here on these things, on these little pegs underneath. If this is ever empty, you need to stop. And that's the thing about it, is that somebody suggested this should be electronic. The fact is that if you don't see anything on there, you should stop right away and readjust, because that means that it didn't catch your yarn properly in this process. So let's begin. I'm now going to speed up. So if you hear any extra clicking, like really loud, it means that the tension is really tight. Okay, so I've already now gone around once. You can see the timer or counter change to 4. Okay, and basically I just can knit as normal. I'm actually using felting yarn in this, so I can actually felt this project after I am done. And basically I just have to keep going around and around as long as I want to. Okay, so when I'm sitting at my table, I'm actually sitting right here and looking down right here, and that's because I'm going in this direction. Okay, so we're now doing circular loom knitting, and basically I can just turn and crank, and I can keep an eye on my project as I go. Okay, we're just about to pass 9, and so after 10 I'm going to change my color. So let's learn how to do that next. So I'm going to change the color when the black comes back around, and there it is, and I'm going to stop and I'm going to change my color next. So I'm about to change my color, so all I want to just do is just cut my string right there. So I haven't done anything on the inside yet, and I'm going to grab my new color and I'm going to let that fall to the ground, just like so. So now I want to move the shuttle piece over, and I want to pick this out, and I want to put it in behind into the center, and I'm doing that so it doesn't jump off anything, and it will not anyway, but I'm just saying that for the sake of benefit. And now I'm just going to tie a quick knot so that the knot is aligned in between the black and the last white one that we passed. Okay, and just tie a nice knot. Okay, and now I want to pick it up again and put it in front. Okay, because we haven't knitted with the black one yet, and I want to close the shuttle, and we've just officially changed colors. So all we just have to do now is just begin knitting again with the new color.